It's interesting how the people that we are closest to in our lives can bring up all kinds of feelings, old stuff that's been trapped in there. I suspect you will relate to this story today. I was having lunch with my mom recently, and it was such a lovely, light conversation. And then she brought up something that definitely triggered some pain within me. She brought up a relationship that she has, a family relationship and a dynamic that she has noticed is a bit off. And yeah, it brought up all kinds of emotion and particularly anger and defiance. And I did what I do. I quickly told her what was wrong with this other person and why he was the source of the challenge and blah, 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 blah. And I left the conversation feeling like shit because I didn't own any of it. I deflected all of that hurt and pain onto him, as I usually do. So I noticed that I wasn't feeling quite great. And I know all of that comes from within me. And so I took some time over the next couple of days to really process. And gosh, there's so much. It's sitting on top of 30 years of stuff, maybe longer because I'm 49, so maybe longer. But it's sitting on top of layers and layers and layers of stuff that I've pushed down, pretended. So, of course, it's going to be hard. I got to give myself grace through that. But I also recognize that as I continue to brush aside those emotions, it keeps them trapped inside of me, and it doesn't do anybody any good. There's a Nadine Saeed quote that I saw recently that so aligns with this. She says, brushing an emotion under the rug will only keep it trapped inside of you. It will resurface to bother you as many times as it needs to in the future until you deal with it. It's the until you deal with it part that I hadn't been paying attention to. I have not dealt with these feelings. So that's what I'm pressing into today, dealing with it, recognizing it's inside of me. And I did, after the conversation, I did circle back with my mom and did acknowledge some of it, that there's a lot of hurt within me that I'm processing and working through. And so at least I scratched the surface a little bit. And I know that with this individual, I need to do some work and have some conversation. But mostly, you guys, the work is within me. It's the stories I have told. It's the hurt that I'm choosing to hang on to. So I'm dealing with it. I'm noticing it. I'm reflecting on it. I'm growing through it. That is the work. It's awful. It's scary. It's also really liberating. So here's to recognizing emotions you may be sweeping under the rug. Just know they're going to keep coming back over and over. They're going to bother you as many times as they need to until you deal with them. What a great way to take care of yourself and ultimately each other.